Welcome to my Vision News. Four news stories for you. The first one is about Orthodox Church of Ethiopia, where we have seen two statements from Oromia region-based archbishops. On Saturday, they issued a new statement. On Friday, it seemed as if they were violating the agreement signed 4 days ago. So, what is their new position and now? Secondly, viewers, Tigray Eritrea border. 48 hours ago, Professor Kindeya from Tigray External Affairs Bureau claimed that Eritrean soldiers fired at workers of an aid organization who were on their way to deliver aid to the people of Duvan in Irob. He mentioned a place where this incident happened in his tweet. Now, the other side has shared details, not officially but unofficially, about the location of the place. And Eritrean government-backed activists are sharing maps that the place is now part of Eritrea according to Boundary Commission, which passed a decision around 2 decades ago about Tigray Eritrea border. Thirdly was Teddy Asfaw, the journalist who was arrested last week, this week, was granted bail for 30,000 Ethiopian birrs. Has he been released, or more arrests have been made of the people close to Teddy Asfaw? And lastly, African Union summit underway in the capital city of Ethiopia, Addis Ababa. Yesterday, Israeli delegation was told to leave the meeting hall. Why was the Israeli delegation not allowed to attend the meeting? If you remember, I did a video on Israel's status of observer of African Union last year as well, when last meeting was held in 2022 in Ethiopia of African Union. Firstly, viewers, Orthodox Church of Ethiopia issued a statement a few hours ago, public relations officer. And the church now says that Abune Sarios and others, they have agreed to implement the 10-point agreement signed between the fathers of the church. We know that around 5 to 6 days ago, Oromia region-based Orthodox faction and main Orthodox faction led by Abune Matis, they signed an agreement. Government facilitated the agreement, 10-point agreement. And the 10-point agreement clearly states that the appointees who were appointed as archbishops by the three who were appointed as bishops by the three archbishops, they'll revert to their positions, and then Holy Synod will analyze their cases, examine their cases, and make new appointments. That is written in the agreement. But around 48 hours ago, we saw press conference by the Oromia region-based Orthodox Church archbishops and bishops, and they said that the appointment of 25 bishops made by the three archbishops must be respected, that they should not be reverted to their previous ranks, to their previous positions. And immediately after that, we saw a statement from Abune Petros, Abune Abraham. Both rejected this position taken by Oromia region-based Orthodox faction. They said it was a violation of the 10-point agreement. Then yesterday, a new meeting was held, and Abune Sarios and other archbishops, Abune Sarios especially, he reiterated his commitment to the implementation of the 10-point agreement. So this Oromia clergy is changing statements. On Friday, their statement was different, but on Saturday, they changed their position. But now they say they are committed to implementation of the agreement. It means that 25 appointees will be reverted to their earlier ranks, and then Holy Synod will decide whether to promote them to the rank of bishops and appoint them, or whether they should be allowed to continue working in their previous position. That will be decided by Holy Synod. So it means that Oromia region based 3 archbishops, they are under pressure. Who is putting pressure upon them? Some groups in Oromia regional government, federal government, or appointees. I don't think federal government facilitated the deal. Federal government wanted to put an end to this conflict. It was becoming a threat to them, to the future of the government. So they tried to control the situation. Some groups within Oromia or the appointees could be behind this pressure upon the 3 archbishops. Let's see what church does. Will the Holy Synod reappoint the 25 bishops to the rank of bishops, or will they remain reverted? That remains to be seen. Secondly, viewers, Tigray Eritrea border. I have been saying that the withdrawal of Eritrean military, though it is happening, but now question would be, where does this withdrawal stop? What is the border between Tigray and Eritrea? Because around 2 decades ago, Ethiopia-Eritrea Boundary Commission, mandated by the UN, I think, passed a decision about demarcation of Tigray-Eritrea border. And the decision, I think, awards Badme to Eritrea and some other parts as well, which have remained parts of Tigray after the agreement, because the agreement could not be implemented. And Eritrea has been demanding the implementation of agreement. Eritrea has been accusing Ethiopia, EPRDF government of Ethiopia and the US, that they were delaying the implementation of the agreement. Now, Eritrean military has withdrawn from main cities of Tigray, but it has stopped where the Boundary Commission made the border in its decision. And that is leading to conflicting positions. Professor Kindeya 2 days ago tweeted, he said that Eritrean military fired at workers of Care Ethiopia and NGO. The workers with 2 trucks of aid were on their way to Erob's Duwan, and they were moving from Adegara to Duwan in Erob. When they reached Adi Likoma, near Adi Likoma, Eritrean military fired at them, and that Adi Likoma is part of Tigray. 8 workers returned. Now, Eritrean government-backed activists and journalists are sharing maps. You can see one such map on your screen. They claim that Adi Likoma is part of Eritrea according to Boundary Commission's decision. That is why the aid workers, if the incident happened, they're not confirming that incident happened. They say if it happened, it means that the aid workers were violating Eritrean territorial integrity and sovereignty. Adi Likoma is part of Eritrea, and you need to go through Adi Likoma to reach Duwan near Erob. These issues, that is why I say that if there is no engagement between Tigray government and Eritrean government, you'll keep on seeing these issues. Eritrea is now enforcing that decision of 2 decades ago by force. Tigray is rejecting the decision. We can clearly see. It means conflict will go on in one or the other form. Thirdly, viewers, Teddy Asfaw was granted bail by a court 2 days ago. I reported that he has been released, but though court granted him bail, police did not release him. Just a few hours ago, I got confirmation. Teddy Asfaw has not been released so far. Court granted him bail for 30,000 Ethiopian birds. And it's very common in Ethiopia that courts order the release of people, but police does not obey orders. We have seen that in the case of several other journalists in the past too. Rather, after this bail order, police took further action and arrested Teddy Asfaw's brother, Emmanuel Asfaw, has been arrested. And one of his YouTube channel worker, Maseret Tamiro, has also been arrested. His channel, Ethiosalam, YouTube channel closed. And Teddy Asfaw is still in detention. By the way, YouTube is blocked in Ethiopia. That is why some of my videos, the number of views is decreasing, it's declining. Though overall, in terms of revenue, it's not making any difference because I don't earn anything from Ethiopia. Either Ethiopia does not have agreement with YouTube about running of ads. That is why no matter how much my viewership in Ethiopia is, I don't earn even a single dollar from Ethiopia. So number of views have declined from Ethiopia, mainly because government has restricted YouTube access. YouTube, TikTok, and some other social media apps and sites were restricted around a week ago, and still ban is imposed. You can you can use these apps through VPN, through proxies only. Lastly, viewers, Israeli diplomats were forced out of African Union's meeting yesterday. We saw this conflict last year too. Moussa Faki, chairperson of African Union, granted observer status to Israel without proper procedure, without voting by African Union countries. And last year in 2020, we saw that several African countries opposed this move. They demanded that voting should be held. And I think Israel's status as observer state of African Union was suspended last year in February, I think, if I am not wrong. This year, when African Union Summit is underway, an Israeli diplomat and her staff, Sharon Barley and her staff, they entered the venue of the meeting where summit is underway. But then security staff told them to leave, and they had to leave the African Union summit venue. The issue should be resolved. I think Israel should be granted observer status or not. It should be decided. What we saw yesterday was embarrassing. Embarrassing for the lady, Israeli diplomat too. Though what we have heard is that she was not issued any entry card. Rather, Israeli delegation entered the venue using someone's entry cards. They were not issued any entry cards. But issue should be resolved. Should Israel be granted observer status or not? It's up to African Union, to the member states. But once and for all, they should decide. They should make a decision to avoid such embarrassment in future. Watch the clip showing when Israeli diplomats were expelled. They were told to leave the venue of Africa Union Summit. Summit underway. Today is day 2. I think today the summit will conclude. Thank you for watching.